Hey everyone, today's video is about when you flinch when he yells at you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And let's get going. You and Bakugou have been together for quite some time now. Your relationship forged through shared experiences and a deep understanding of each other. As heroes, you faced countless challenges side by side, but there was one thing that you couldn't seem to overcome: your tendency to flinch whenever Bakugou yelled at you. It wasn't that he was abusive or intentionally cruel. Far from it. Bakugou was passionate, driven, and sometimes his emotions got the best of him, leading to outbursts of anger that could be overwhelming. And each time he raised his voice, you couldn't help but in an instant shrink back, the fear of his explosive temper lingering in the back of your mind. One evening, after a particularly intense training session, Bakugou's frustration boiled over, and he unleashed a tirade of curses in your direction. You flinched involuntarily, your heart pounding in your chest as you braced yourself for the inevitable backlash. Bakugou's expression softened immediately, his anger dissipating as he took in your reaction. "Why, he said, his voice surprisingly gentle. "Did I scare you?" You hesitated, unsure of how to respond. "I'm sorry," you stammered, unable to meet his gaze. "I know you didn't mean to." Bakugou's eyes softened with understanding as he approached you, reaching out to gently cup your face in his hands. "Hey, look at me," he said softly, his touch comforting. "I would never hurt you, Ayan. You know that, right?" You nodded, feeling tears prick at the corners of your eyes. "I know," you whispered, feeling ashamed of your own fear. I can't help it sometimes." Baku's expression softened further, his thumb brushing away a stray tear from your cheek. "It's okay," he murmured, pulling you into a tender embrace. "I'll try to control my temper better. But I need you to trust me, Wayan. I'll always protect you, no matter what." He buried your face in his chest, feeling the weight of his words sink in. Despite your fears, you knew deep down that Bakugou would never intentionally harm you. He was your rock, your pillar of strength, and you trusted him with your life. From that moment on, you made a conscious effort to communicate openly with Bakugou about your fears, knowing that together you can overcome anything. And as you stood there in his arms, you realized that sometimes the greatest strength of all was the ability to be vulnerable with the person that you loved most. In the days that followed, you and Bakugou worked on strengthening your bond, addressing the underlying fears and insecurities that had been weighing on your relationship. Bakugou made a concerted effort to control his temper, finding healthier ways to express his frustrations without resorting to yelling or aggression. Together, you practiced communication techniques, learning to express your feelings openly and honestly without fear of judgment. It wasn't very easy, but with each conversation, you felt yourselves growing closer, your trust in each other deepening with every shared moment. One evening, as you sat together in your shared apartment, Bakugou reached for your hand, his touch warm and reassuring. "Wayan," he said softly, "I want you to know that I'm proud of you. You've been so brave, facing your fears, and, I could never do this." You smiled, feeling a swell of gratitude for the man that was sitting beside you. "Thank you, Katsuki," he replied, squeezing his hand gently. "And I'm proud of you too, for working so hard to change." Bakugou's lips curled into a small smile, his eyes softening with affection. "I'll always do whatever it takes to make sure that you feel safe and loved," he murmured, leaning in to press a tender kiss to your forehead. In that moment, surrounded by the warmth of Bakugou's embrace, you knew that you had found a love worth fighting for. Despite the challenges that you faced, you were confident that as long as you had each other, you could overcome anything that came your way. And so, hand in hand, you faced the future together. knowing that no matter what obstacles lay ahead, your love would always be the guiding light that led you through the darkness. For in each other's arms, you had found your home, your sanctuary, and your greatest source of strength. As the weeks passed, you and Bakugo continued to grow closer, your relationship stronger than ever before. With each passing day, you found yourselves more attuned to each other's needs, more understanding to each other's quirks and flaws. Together, you faced new challenges and celebrated small victories, all the while knowing that you had each other's unwavering support. Bakugo's efforts to control his temper paid off, and his outbursts became less frequent, replaced instead by moments of calm and understanding. But despite the progress that you had made, there were still moments of doubt and insecurity that lingered in the back of your mind. You couldn't help but wonder if your past experiences had left a lasting mark on your relationship, if the fear of Bakugo's anger would ever truly fade away. One evening, as you sat together on the couch, lost in thought, Bakugo noticed a distant look in your eyes. "Hey," he said softly, reaching out to gently lift your chin up to meet his gaze. "What's on your mind, Wayan?" You hesitated, unsure of how to voice your concerns. "I just can't shake this feeling." Your voice was barely a whisper. "I'm afraid that things will go back to the way they were before." Baku's expression softened with understanding, his fingers tracing comforting circles on the back of your hand. "I understand you, but I want you to know that I'm committed to making this work, and I'm really trying my best. I promise you. And I'll do whatever it takes to prove to you that you can trust me." Tears welled up in your eyes as you looked into Baku's earnest gaze, feeling a surge of love and gratitude wash over you. "I trust you, Katsuki. And I always have, and always will," he whispered, reaching out to intertwine your fingers with his. In that moment, surrounded by the warmth of Baku's love, you knew that together you can overcome anything that came your way. Despite the doubts and insecurities that still lingered, you had faith in your bond and the strength of your love to carry you through even the darkest of times. And as you leaned into Baku's embrace, feeling the steady beat of his heart against yours, you knew that no matter what the future held, you would always find your way back home. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and goodbye.